sacrifice his second place chips right now because he knows that.
Or to Huget.
Yeah.
Big pots.
Well, yeah, exactly. So he's trying to play cautiously against the chip leader, and probably rightfully so at this stage in the tournament.
We saw that Ravi Raghavan, a 27-year-old from the University of Illinois, was gone in 5th place, and there's some conjecture. I was wondering where Mohsen Sharania was, and maybe he'd join us in the booth. Apparently, we were wondering if maybe he was charming some girl atop the Eiffel Tower, but apparently he is not. He is playing the WPT main event. Well, it's already, I think they're probably already in like level 2 or level 3. He's probably out by now.
I find that doubtful. Mo finds a way to stick around usually. He's a fantastic player.
Mateos raises to 75,000. Once again, the blinds are 1530. Mateos raising it to 2.5x from the small blinds. And you see that a lot. You see a lot of guys actually raising it a little bit more from the small blind because they know they have to play the hand out of position.
Right.
Huget, stepping up the aggression level, he is now 3-betting. Again.
And it's a little bit easier for Huget maybe if he picks up even a medium strength hand here to have a little more confidence in it, because Mateo has been putting on a lot a
I think Huget's confidence has grown exponentially ever since he made that call with the ace-7.
Yeah, that was a big big confidence builder for him too. I agree.
4-bet from Mateos.
And it's called
and a call.
Snap call.
And this is how this tournament could end actually relatively quickly. We get a 4-bet and a call. The pot is already 940,000.
Yeah, it's a huge pot. If Huget connects here, we're probably going to see him going with his hand.
I mean, yeah, if Huget's got, if it's a king-queen versus an ace-king type situation,
right.
It's going to be very, very tough for Huget to get away from.
Although I think oftentimes Huget might have raised with smaller pairs here and might be a little afraid of the king and not sure what to do.
Well, those red chips are 25K each. Small bet for Mateos. This is something pros love to do. It's something amateurs don't do. The bet on the flop is actually smaller than the pre-flop raise.
Right. And this is something that's important to consider because Mateos doesn't need to risk a lot of chips right now in order to put his opponent in a really tough position because of the large size of the pot. Huget has only started the hand with 1.8, and so he doesn't have a lot of chips in ratio to the large size of the pot out there. So now if he's going to raise, he has to commit a significant portion of his stack, and he's probably going to have to go with it. So it really kind of puts him in a bind.
He's got a little bit. He's got a little bit over a million chips in front of him still. The players and their chip counts on top of the screen, those are their starting hand chip counts. So
now Huget is basically with this small amount that Mateos is putting out there. If he's going to commit 7.5% or whatever it is of his remaining stack, a quarter of his remaining stack, then he's probably should be going with the hand.
What do you do if you're Huget and you've got 2 red 9s? What do you do?
I re-raise back all in pre-flop.
Okay, fair. So you wouldn't find yourself. But okay, what if you have 2 red 7s? Would you still play it the same way?
Probably against Mateos.
Just because you're not gonna, the problem was with 7s and 9s, there aren't that many flops you're gonna like.
Yeah, but if I do flat with him, you could still go with the hand if you think that Mateos was raising pre-flop with an ace-jack, ace-9, some kind of ace like that.
So you just stick it in with 9s and hope your opponent doesn't have an overpair.
Well, that's basically what you're saying you should do if you're flatting with 9s and waiting for this board. Otherwise, you think your 9s are good and you go with it. If he's set mining, basically, and hoping to get 3 of a kind in order to continue with his hand, then he should have folded pre-flop.
Right.
Which is why it's not a great flat spot. It's an either shove or fold.
Huget has been tanking for 2 minutes, and last night we had very, very little tanking. Even today we haven't had a ton. So while I think it's been an epidemic lately in the poker world, it certainly hasn't been at either one of these final tables. I think this is the longest tank, and I don't blame it. I think Huget actually does have one of those medium pairs like you called it, and it's a tough spot, and he's going to give it up. Let's see what he's got.
Oh, no, he had the ace-jack. Wow, okay, well.
Both players in the same hand.
Still a tough spot.
So deuce. Yeah, of course you did.
And they both had backdoor draws.
In which case, if Huget had gone all in, Mateos might have still called with the amount of money he put out there, but he could have still found a fold too, because Huget isn't re-raising all in with an ace-jack. He's presumably only re-raising all in with hands that have ace-jack beat.
Mateos now up to 5.5 million chips. He now has about 49% of the chips in play.
Yeah.
Huget down to 1.4 million.
And Mateos is doing a good